Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of Let's Talk 20's, episode 11. I'm here with my friend GT, again, back-to-back episodes, and the topic for today was pursue your purpose. So we talk about what it's like to pursue your true passion, and for a lot of us in our 20s, we sometimes feel lost and think we're doing something that we truly want to do, and then in a few years, whether it's with a job or a hobby or whatever, we figure out that there's something else that is actually our calling. So we talk about what's that like, the steps to take in order to pursue your true purpose, and how to take that leap even if there's going to be a lot of obstacles in your way in order to achieve what you truly want to do in this one life. A lot of great stuff in here. Hope you guys enjoy it. Thank you again for listening to this episode. Talk to you soon. Peace. Ladies and gentlemen, episode 11 of Let's Talk 20's. Let's go. We hit the milestone of 10. I am back again with my friend GT. GT.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me back.
Never had a guest back-to-back episodes, so, you should feel really special right now.
Absolutely.
Anything happened since the last time that we talked on the podcast?
It was a lot of great feedback. A lot of people loved what we talked about and they related to it, and we just had great conversations.
Yeah, I think so too.
So
I think so too. Did you have any of your friends kind of respond to you or reach out to you personally since you reposted it on your Instagram story and all that? Did anyone personally reach out to you?
yeah, so my girlfriend's mom's best friend Marlene, I call her Auntie Mar, love her. She commented on my Facebook repost and she said, "Amazing job, gentlemen." And then she said how I was very strong and how not just myself, but you were very strong, and how she loved the flow and loved the ideas because she's a very in depth thinker. And she's someone that I also have deep conversations with. And my girlfriend as well loved it. Addison really loved it.
Did she?
And yeah, she loved every little bit of it. She loved how you and I were able to bring out things that happen in our lives and we're very strong about it, and how we were able to be strong through it and what got us through it. So she was very proud of not just myself, but of you as well.
That's awesome, man. I'm glad that people on your end also enjoyed the content, because that's the point of me having a different guest every episode was to try to bring their friends or family interest into it as well. So hopefully I can over time gain a little bit more of a wider range of an audience instead of just the same people that view and actually check out the videos on my Instagram. So that's awesome, man.
How about you? Did
Yeah.
anybody reach out?
Yeah, I posted a snippet of the episode to my Facebook, and that was the first time
Yep.
I posted anything about the podcast. I didn't even tell a lot of people about the podcast. And so, that tends to be a little bit more of my family friends and a lot more of my family. Not too many of my friends that are my age are active on Facebook, but
Yeah, that's yep.
you tend to get the aunts and family friends
Hmm.
on there. But no, it's cool because I'm not very active on Facebook, but it's cool to see a lot of people comment on it and say that they liked it or thought it was a great idea, and that's what it's about, man. So
Absolutely.
let's get into the episode, GT. Well,
Let-
let's talk about the topic today.
Okay.
Pursue your purpose. What does that mean to you?
Mm. Pursuing your purpose to me means that you make efforts to achieve whatever it is your purpose turns out to be, and it's often over a long period of time. Pursuing your purpose, you make a bunch of sacrifices. What all do you do and not do to achieve your ultimate purpose? That's what it means to me.
Yeah, absolutely. What helped you gain a purpose? It's something that I think you can kind of be taught or kind of have that enforced through your family and your upbringing and your environment, but I also think there's various factors that go into it as well. But what has helped you personally gain your purpose or discover what a purpose is for you?
So I would say over the years, just growing up and both good and bad events that happened, people that I interacted with, just growing as a individual and really getting to know who I am and taking a deep dive into who I really am and questioning my ethics and morals and why they are how they are and how I got there and really just fully grasping and accepting every little thing like that. So I definitely think for me it was just becoming more mature and taking deep dives and just growing mentally, emotionally, physically, and talking to others that extremely helped me out. Talking to other people of all facets, races, ethnicities, religion, and ages, and just figuring out myself, and then that helping me find my true purpose in life instead of what I thought it was, but really what my purpose really is.
Yeah, absolutely. I think those are all very good points, and it's not even necessarily one of those factors that contributes more than the other. It's just a mixing pot of things that can really mold that kind of, just like the work ethic episode. It's more so something that's intrinsic, but also you get bits and pieces from your environment and how your upbringing was and your friends and family and all your other influences for sure.
Absolutely. What about you? What about you and your purpose? Because you know my background more than a lot of other people will know. And I know your background more than a lot of other people will know, but just for the audience and for the members, what made Tanner Perry and his purpose?
you know to to say that I know what my purpose is right now is a premature. I think that I know what I want my purpose to be. I think with my situation of how I was kind of brought up, moving around so much, interacting with people from various backgrounds and different personalities and stuff. I honestly think my purpose is just spread love and spread kindness to others because, like I was telling you off camera, I was
Absolutely.
saying how at work, by me just simply being kind to the customers, they act like I made their whole day. And those little interactions add up for some people, or sometimes a complete stranger asking them how their day's going. That can mean a lot to someone who may be going through stuff because you never know what someone's going through. And so
Absolutely.
I think that was part of the reason why I started this podcast. I just feel like my purpose is to let others know that everything will be fine. And I think my other purpose is just serving others. And that's why I think physical therapy will be a great job, being able to assist others and improve their day-to-day quality of life physically, emotionally, psychologically. I think it's kind of my purpose. So I think definitely my parents, moving around a lot, interacting with lots of people, and just my morals and values.
I completely agree.
But the next question I have for you, sir,
Go ahead.
is I don't think I asked you what your purpose is. You kind of told me what helps you gain a purpose, but what do you think your personal purpose is?
So for me personally,
Mm-hmm.
I've had a lot of trials and tribulations, and you know a lot of them. And ever since I was a little kid, I grew up playing sports. I was always a very nice kid. I would like to think I was kind of a beginning off. I was just very friendly and wanted other people to feel good and to make people smile because that's one of the best things that you can ever see is just a smile on someone's face. So growing up, I would play sports, and that was for me personally what I thought was my purpose. And as we're growing up, I'm still playing, thank God, I'm still playing baseball and I'm around it. I played around, played a lot of travel baseball, and I got told no by a lot of different teams, and that hurt. But I took it to heart, and I just fueled my fire to work harder, and it kind of helped me out to realize, okay, cool. So then I would play the teams again and just show them up and prove them wrong. And that happened, still does, and is still going on today. And just proving people wrong and making it out on the other end, even when it feels like all the odds are against you. And just me personally, to see others succeed and help them out and get them to where they want to be, but also being able to put a smile on their face. It happens because in coaching, like I told you before that we started the podcast, I want the game to get better and better, and I want kids and my players to learn from my mistakes, my failures, and I want them to be the best dumb they can be. I just want people, when they talk about me the day that I'm gone and I leave this earth, I want people to say he was an amazing man. I wasn't just a baseball player. I was a guy who helped out, who was selfless, caring, loving, took care of other people, and wanted the best for others. And he wasn't a selfish or greedy person. I absolutely would never want people to describe me as one of those people. But and just to pay it forward because karma is very, very real, like you said.
Yeah,
What comes around goes around.
that's right,
And
man.
I just want that. I just want people to talk good about me and say he was an amazing person who
Well,
took care of others.
regardless of whatever happens, I'm still going to say you're a piece of shit at your funeral,
You
assuming that
know,
I'm alive
that's
when
okay. Get a little comedy going. I don't want it to be all sappy.
both of us gave very long responses to that. But I think it is important to kind of have a very specific purpose and pursue that because we are only given this one chance at life. And if you play your cards on the safe side, it can still bring some rewards to you, but there always will be a part of you, or at least for me personally, with how I am. I would always wonder the what if part of it. So, my next question for you is for someone who is trying to pursue their purpose and they think they have this purpose in mind, and maybe it's a little far fetched when they first speak about it or the thought first comes to their mind, but what would you say about the dilemma between playing something safe versus pursuing what you truly want?
I think if you play it safe, you will never reach the full potential that you could have been. Harvey said it best.
Say it.
You will never be the best you or get there if you don't take a leap of faith. You can't step because you're not going to make it. You're not going to be able to get over there. Sometimes, for you to unlock your true potential, you just need to jump and have faith and
Mm-hmm.
take that leap. So,
Yeah.
and that's something that I struggled with, and I'm sure plenty of other people did. But as soon as you take that leap, and after you take the leap, you need to stay consistent and be tunnel vision, but also be weary and know, but just stay focused.
I thought you were going to say this other scenario that I've seen somewhere in the internet. I don't know who said it, but imagine that you're up there with God and he's talking to you one on one about should you go to heaven or hell or whatever. And he shows you or says, "Do you want to see who you could have been?" And then he shows you if you took, even if it's just this one decision that led to a series of events like a butterfly effect of what you could have been if you, let's say, just for the purpose of this episode, if you pursued what you wanted to do, if you pursued what you thought your purpose was, and you got to see what you could have been, do you want to be
Regret.
the one who regrets that? Or do you want
No.
to be the one who's watching the video? Let's say it's like a video or flashback of what you actually were. Like your dreams were your reality. You pursue what you wanted. You had the life that you wanted, and now you're here satisfied about everything. Excuse me, about everything that you accomplished. That's something that kind of resonated with me in terms of my work ethic and pursuing what I truly wanted to do.
I totally agree with that. So, but also just with baseball, I want to show people like, hey, you can be told no all the time when you're younger. When you grow up, if you stay and pursue your purpose, you can really see the fruit would be much better on the other side, and the harvest is going to be way better than had you played it safe. Like Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan didn't make it freshman, sophomore year in high school, but now he's considered the greatest of all time, the GOAT of basketball.
Mm-hmm.
But you saw him pursue his purpose,
That's
right?
right.
And
That's
his
right.
passion. Now look where he is.
Same thing with Tom Brady, right? Wasn't he a fifth
Sixth
or
round.
yeah, sixth
Sixth
round pick or
round pick.
something?
He was in the hundreds. He
Greatest
was but like
quarterback.
100 something pick.
I think yeah. I don't remember exactly what pick he was, but I knew that he was like a sixth or
He was a
somewhere around
sixth
there,
round
sixth round
pick.
you pick. Yeah, yeah.
He's now the GOAT.
Well, for my next question, to kind of play off of the play safe versus pursuing what you want question,
Hmm.
what if your purpose isn't the best financial option or isn't best for others around you? Maybe it's the best, or you think it is a good decision for yourself, but what if it's best for only you and it's maybe not the best financial option, or other scenarios right like that where some people might say that's just an excuse, but at the same time it's something that you also have to weigh, if it's your only life and
Oh
you're
my.
kind of hesitant because of these other variables. How do you go about that?
Oh man, this that's
Pretty tough,
oh
huh?
that's a deep question because that's so relatable, especially right now for me.
Yeah. All right, that's why I wrote it,
Um,
maybe.
wow. Oh my gosh, this is a lot.
Give me a short answer though. I don't want you to dive too into it because I know it can
Yeah,
be a very long-winded answer, but I just want to know off the top of your head, what was the first thing that came to your head? Because that tends to be the most honest answer.
with baseball, it's hard to get picked up if you didn't get a whole lot of exposure early on. So that has now affected me, and now I'm a little older, but I still have what it takes. But people haven't been giving me the opportunities and chances in pursuing my purpose. It's not only mentally, physically, emotionally straining, it's also financially. And it's tough on not just myself, but people around me. My girlfriend, God bless her, has been there through me through it all. And she has to deal with me being on the road, playing games, on the road away from her. And it's something that it's not just myself, but
Hold
I'm
on.
very blessed to say I have the best there is. And thank you, baby. Thank you, Addison. I love you very much.
Pause, pause, pause. When you say down the road or out of town, don't say that. Say across the country because
Across the
people
country.
aren't gonna know, where you were versus where the baseball was and all that. Like she was in Georgia
Yep.
and you were where?
I started off in Kansas and then I got traded to Colorado.
I mean, that's
And
far, man.
yeah, I was in New Mexico traveling from Kansas, Colorado, New Mexico, like all over. And it took wear and tear on my car. Also, the hotel rooms when I didn't have a host family when I was with Colorado, food, the littlest things added up
Yep,
so fast.
yep.
And it wasn't just myself, but I had an amazing support system. And I can never thank my girlfriend enough and can never thank my family enough for the help that they've given me because I would not be playing because I can't afford it. It's tough to get picked up and to move up. It's about my purpose and using baseball and using that platform to help other kids who were bullied, told no, they'd never amount to it, they'll never make it past this. I want to be an example like, hey, I went through everything. Everyone told me no. Everyone told me you'll never make it because you don't have what it takes. And because if I don't believe in you, other people won't believe in you. And I want people to say, that's my idol or that's my hero. And that's not something that I want everyone to be like, GT. If I can help one kid who was in my situation, who or is in my situation, if I can help them get past that, my purpose is being fulfilled because I'm helping more people than just myself, and I want to help as many people as I can.
Did you answer my question?
Yes,
Okay. We got a little
it's
sidetracked there, but I just want to.
like what you said. What if your purpose isn't the best financial option, best for others besides yourself,
Yeah.
etc.?
Yeah.
It's staying focused and keeping through and like I said earlier, tunnel vision, but be weary of through that tunnel vision because not every tunnel is perfect.
Oh, here we go. We're talking about tunnels now. Yeah. Not every tunnel's perfect.
So it's knowing where those little rocks, those obstacles, those
Oh.
bumps,
Oh.
and getting through, and then seeing the light, boom, and then you're where your purpose can
Yeah.
be fulfilled,
You
staying that course.
you're very good at you start to lose me and then you suck me right back in. It captivate me. It's an amazing quality that you have. You're starting to lose me about how every tunnel is not the same, but then you said the rocks and the obstacles. You pull me right back in. Well, what happens if you have to change your purpose or you want to change your purpose? Do you think someone is able to do that? Let's say someone who maybe up until now they graduate college, they kind of chose this major at school because that's what they thought they wanted to do, or their parents wanted them to do this, or maybe they didn't even go to college, but they got into work and within a few years they don't like it anymore. You're in your mid 20s, late 20s, maybe you don't even have to be that old, but you realize that, man, what I thought I wanted to do, it just isn't it. Do you think someone is able to change their purpose or redirect themselves to pursue a different purpose?
I think that as you go along in life, your purpose is your purpose from when you began. It's just when you realize it. And every little thing builds up to your purpose. So you can't take the past out and rewrite it. The past is the past and it's history. But when you finally recognize your purpose, that's where you can start really honing in and doing your things and making your purpose become successful and come about. So
Yeah.
that's how I think. I think you can't take anything from the past. And I think everything in the past helps you get to your purpose,
Hmm.
recognize your purpose, and why your purpose is what it is.
I think that's a great answer because instead of necessarily thinking that you have to go off of a clean slate, I would agree with you where I kind of have the mindset where almost everything happens for a reason. It's just like weird how things connect the dots somehow. Instead of thinking of it as a clean slate, which a lot of people try to do and think that the past was a waste of time, just think of it as a stepping stone and more of like a redirection for your future and what you need to do, you know? Because instead
Absolutely.
of discrediting what you did in the past, give yourself the pat on the back. Yeah, that job was shit, or you feel like you're back at square one, but no, you gained all this experience, you
And knowledge.
and knowledge and everything else to propel yourself into that next, chapter of your life where you think you're pursuing your true passion or a different passion. or purpose.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I think that's a great answer. And another thing to add to that that I want to kind of touch on for a future episode would be in terms of trying to change your purpose. There's a saying where we're given two lives, the one when we're born, and then the next one when we realize we only have this one life. And that's when you truly start living. And I think that's something that can correlate with people who maybe thought that they were in touch with themselves and then realized that, oh,
They're
this isn't what I
not.
want to do, or I'm not doing what makes me truly happy. And then they pursue something else. They realize that, oh, I only have this one shot, so why am I going to spend it miserable doing something I don't want to do?
Exactly.
You got a question for me, big dog? Let's switch it up.
Let's do it. Okay. So, where do people go wrong or astray from their purpose in your eyes? What factors go into?
I think sometimes when you have this big goal and you're trying to pursue it, it's very easy to get lost in a process and become a little more complacent than you think you are. I think it's very easy to do the same thing over and over. Let's say you're trying to become a professional baseball player, right? And you're on a good team, let's say a minor league team or whatever, and you become a little complacent. You do what the coaches want you to do. You do your team workouts, but you started out doing a lot of by yourself, extra work, extra workouts, weight training or whatever it is, conditioning. And then as time passes, you slowly stop doing those extra workouts and solo conditioning sessions, and then you just do the team workouts and this and that. And you lose touch of what you're trying to accomplish before. Take that baseball metaphor for any occupation or any passion, whether it's you're trying to become a good music producer or whatever. I think it can translate to anything. People become complacent, and I think sometimes the big goal you're trying to accomplish seems so big and scary that a lot of people just back down and they don't keep their head down and focus, like you said about the tunnel vision. Just focus on you. You're going to have people, no matter how big or small the goal is, you're going to have people who doubt you, people who hate you. And unfortunately, that's just the way society is right now. As much as you can be the most likable person ever, and you're still going to have people who talk crap about you behind your back. It's just the way life is. And don't let the people who say no to you and the people who deny you or the people who don't support you, don't let them determine your passion, because it's your life. And yeah, I'll just leave it at that. I think that's probably the main things for me.
Okay.
What about you?
I
You got anything
love
to add
that.
to on top of that?
Like you said, people slowly go away from what they were doing because maybe of a distraction.
Right.
And distractions are going to happen, but how do you navigate through those distractions is how you become stronger in your purpose and your grit and your grind and your process to your purpose. So I absolutely agree with that. I think people start to let others affect their purpose. Like you said earlier, parents with maybe where someone's going to college
Right.
or what they're studying, and them not realizing their true purpose by themselves. I think is something very important when you talk about the topic pursue your purpose,
Mm-hmm.
your YOUR,
Yes, sir.
not WE. There's no W and there's no E in your you.
That's right. No,
That is
yeah,
personal.
that's right, dude. That's exactly right. I don't know if I said something along those lines, but that is a perfect answer. It absolutely is your purpose, your life. So you gotta block those haters out.
Amen, baby. You just gotta say no when they come to the gate. Lock it up
Lock
and
it up.
lock it again.
Yeah, hit me with another one.
Okay, so for tips for someone who thinks they have a setback that now can completely ruin their future reaching their purpose. With your personal experiences, what helps you get through? Because I know a couple different things and it's been talked about in your podcast, personal life events. What tips would you give someone? And they'd be shocked, like, wow, I didn't even think about that.
In terms of, I just want to make sure I understand the question. In terms of them wanting to pursue their purpose, right?
Yeah, how do you pursue your purpose in life?
I think it's, as we've previously said, it's about what you truly want. What is the voice in your head telling you? It's not what the outside voice is, not what your family or friends or significant others saying. It's what you want to do. And I think if you listen to that voice and listen to your own heart, I think that, although it sounds cheesy, I think that truly is what kind of can propel you in a positive direction for yourself. Because at the end of the day, you know, you're you, and as much as other people can help you out with day to day things, you have to be hungry and pursue what you want. You can have everything laid out in front of you, but if you don't put in
The
some
work.
of the effort or the effort yourself, then it's not going to happen. So I think you gotta have that passion within yourself. I think another thing too is a lot of times people just don't ask for help. And that's something that I struggled with until recently, is that it's very hard to accept that maybe you need some assistance on the way and maybe need to take a step back and have maybe an outside POV who is actually supporting you and say, hey man, like, you're doing a great job, but you could do this, or have you tried this? Just
Absolutely.
to kind of have an outside voice to maybe help you see things that you wouldn't have previously. I think, like, for example, with you in baseball, GT, you're doing a great job, bro. You're going to all these workouts. You're currently coaching a team, but have you reached out to these other leagues yourself? Have you sent in any of your clips or this or that? Have you personally called anyone? Have you called them twice? Have you called them 3 times? Like, stuff like that. Someone who's there to support you, but is willing to kind of open your eyes up to things that you didn't think of yourself. So a good support system, having that inner drive, and then yeah, I'll just leave it with those two things. I don't think there's really a hidden tip or anything that's a secret for this specific topic about pursuing your purpose. I just think it's the obvious things, but it's something that's easier said than done.
Absolutely.
Would you agree with that? Or do you think there's a secret tip, or something that you can think of off the top of your head that maybe a lot of the general public or people in their 20s specifically wouldn't think of?
I definitely agree with those. I think taking time for self-care, a lot of people always rush around. Like we said in the previous podcast, it's okay to not be okay. It's okay to not be ready. And where, because people don't take time for self-care, they
Yeah.
don't ever think about themselves. And I'm not saying don't be greedy and selfish and only be about yourself. That's not what I'm saying. But maybe 10, 15 minutes, a day to yourself so you can dive into what happened in the day before you do anything.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe like yoga or just stretching or like a little workout, something to get your mind off of reality and maybe more into you, your personal life, and your purpose. I think that's definitely one that is a good tip. Like practicing self acceptance. Accept where you are, but don't accept where you are as the acceptance for where you stay.
Oh, drop that knowledge, baby. That's a good nugget right there. I like that a lot, for sure.
So I think that's one. Turn your pain into purpose. A lot of people, it's a lot easier to give up and to say, I've been hurt so much. This sucks. I don't like this. But guess what? Professionals, no matter what it is, not just athletically, but also business world and everywhere. The people who have, honestly, more times than not, the successful people, the professionals, have endured the most pain,
Mm-hmm.
have sacrificed so much because they're so mentally strong. Not all physical. Granted, physical can help with sports and stuff, but they turn that pain into more fuel into that fire.
Pain to
And
gain.
that's something that exactly. And that's something that helped me out. So turn all those no's, turn all those you'll never be nothing. It's not gonna work. You're gonna fail. Turn that into prove the haters wrong. And then be that person that they say, oh yeah, that's my friend. But that's not their friend. They say that because they want the clout and they want to be associated with you, but they're not. They're
Go ahead. You can finish that sentence. I wasn't gonna
so
interrupt you.
and they're not your entourage. They're not with you because they were against you in the beginning. So to all the haters, keep that same energy, but don't switch up when someone proves you wrong.
That's right, bro. Oh, something while you were talking that you made a point that kind of made a light bulb go off in my head. The other part of this too is that in order to pursue your passion or have a passion, you have to be 100% on board. If you are thinking about something and you're trying to convince yourself about it, then it's not for you.
It's not
It's not. You have to love the idea and fully indulge in the fact that that is what you want to do. If you're even slightly hesitant about it,
not gonna happen.
it's not good. Well, it can happen, but
It
then you're
can
running into
happen,
the
but you're
same
not gonna love
problem.
it.
Yeah, you're running into the same problem that you're trying to get yourself out of, which is, oh, I'll just do this and I'll learn to like it, or maybe I'll like it, a little bit more over time. Like, no, if you don't love it right now, you
How
can't
are you
force
gonna?
yourself.
Yeah,
Yeah, you know what I mean?
because then it's not a like or anything. You're putting on that fake face,
That's
that
right.
fake persona that you like it, and that's not you being you.
That's right, dude. That's exactly. I don't know. It was just something that I forgot what you said exactly that kind of made that light bulb go off in my head. But we haven't touched on that yet. You have to be 100% all in with the
Turn your
idea.
pain into purpose.
Yeah,
Every no that you were told, all the you'll never make it, it's going to fail. You aren't going to do it because I don't think you will. So that means you won't make it.
and
Turn
then
that into the fire, turn into fuel to fuel that fire and burn down. Not burn yourself down, but let
no,
that fire burn and grow
no.
and
I
prove
hate to
them
see
wrong.
that. You don't want to burn
No,
yourself down.
absolutely do not burn yourself down.
I will also say for people who we're kind of talking a little aggressive just because you and I both have kind of been told no or maybe have experienced, we'll say, setbacks for a lack of better terms, but maybe for people who didn't have the resistance that you and I had, even if you got yourself into a scenario where you're not truly happy and you want to pursue your true passion, but you didn't have the resistance or people telling you no, you still have to have that fire and that same mentality. It doesn't matter, how mentally tough you were previously or whatnot. If you truly want to get somewhere, you have to take those steps yourself. And the resistance plays you can turn that into a good cause because then you're really driven. But you still have to have that intrinsic gut feeling that, oh, I'm gonna do this, and no matter what, even if you previously didn't have the setbacks or stuff that maybe other people like you and I or countless others have experienced for sure. GT,
Absolutely.
I want you to hit me with one more question. We'll probably wrap it up there, but I want you to wrap it up there with that last question and then your final thoughts and my final thoughts.
Okay. I have something on that one that we just talked about.
Sure.
Ray Lewis said this. He talks about why is the lion the king of the jungle? Is he the biggest? Elephant's probably the biggest. Is he the fastest? Cheetah's probably the fastest. Is he the smartest? So the lion's not the strongest, the fastest, or the smartest. How can he be the king of the jungle? And then he points to his head, his mentality. because when a lion walks up to an elephant, he thinks lunch. The elephant thinks run. When a pack of hyenas come over to bother lion and take his, he defends them off and tells them no because I'm king of my jungle. That's
Yes,
the
sir.
mindset a lot of people do not have. But when you can do that, I watch that every night before I go to bed. And when I wake up, I watch something like that to get me going for the day. Fuel me up, let that spark in the morning, light it up, and let it
Whoa,
fuel.
whoa! Wake up in the morning and light it up. GT, are
No,
you
no,
talking
no, no,
about
no,
something
no.
else?
No, no, man, no, no.
I'm just
No,
giving you a hard
as
time.
much as my voice sounds like I do, I no.
You said it, not me, bro.
Hey, it's
Oh,
okay.
that's funny. What's the last question? What's the last question you got for me, man?
Why is it important to have purpose?
To make it relatable for the podcast theme of Let's Talk 20s, it is important to have a purpose because even if it's a small thing like a hobby, not necessarily a career change or this or that, to have something that you actually want to pursue is just something that can motivate you day to day for something to improve on. If you don't have a passion or something that you're trying to better yourself at on a consistent basis, overall, it doesn't make sense that you will continue to have a strong work ethic. Over time, you're going to start to slack in other departments or other aspects of your life that can help you with your relationships with your family and friends and girlfriend because you're willing to fight and improve upon something. Whereas if you don't have that motivation or passion for anything, then you'll lack in those areas. You know what I mean? I just think it's
Absolutely.
something that a passion or pursuing what your dream is or hobby is or whatever. I think it's something that you just have to do.
That's absolutely.
So,
I agree.
you agree? Anything to add to that?
When you think about it, when you have a sense of purpose, you tend to be more optimistic. You have increased resiliency and increased hope. It is experiencing joy, happiness, and satisfaction more often, and better physical health and mental and emotional health all
Was that
around.
was that was that off the dome?
All around.
Was that off the dome? Was that
I'll
written
let
down?
y'all. It could be off the dome and written down.
Nah, those are good answers, dude. Those are very good answers. I would agree with that. I was thinking just one aspect. I wasn't doing a very good job at thinking at other areas. Well, GT, if you have any other closing thoughts, now's the time. If not, we'll sign it
You
off here.
know, I will let Tanner speak more on more podcasts, but this one, I felt a lot. This one called my name very much. But to all the people listening, Tanner will be talking more. I will make sure he talks more. I do this for you guys. All right. Thank y'all for listening. I hope y'all have a blessed day.
Were you trying to sign off on my podcast? Who the fuck you think you are?
No, 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 no.
No,
Hey.
I'm just joking. No, dude, you're completely fine. I love hearing what my friends have to say. Obviously, I know what my own thoughts are, but I
Mhm.
want my friends to speak and be open about how they feel about certain topics because that's what it's all about. I could sit here on a solo podcast and express my opinions and
Mhm.
everything if I wanted to, but I have no problem with having the guest talk about how they feel about something. So don't apologize for that. You're fine, dude.
Nah. He'll talk more people. I'll make sure he talks more,
Okay.
but
Yeah, whatever you
I'll
gotta.
make sure.
Yeah, whatever you gotta say, dude. It's no big deal. I'm telling you from my POV, it's no big deal. But
Absolutely.
on that note, we'll sign off here. Thank you guys for listening to another episode of Let's Talk 20s, episode 11. Pursue your passion.
Purpose.
Passion, purpose,
Same thing.
same thing, whatever you want to call it. Go do it. We'll see you guys in the next episode. Peace.